We're going to let it play one more time just to let everybody stream in. All right. Welcome, everybody, including little baby Kira, who's going to be a great sleepy baby today. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Welcome to the Bin Podcast. I'm Mikey Famine. Everybody else is fired. I cleaned the house last night. Everybody's gone. I'm the last man standing. Well, me and Kira. And Zero's here too. So there's the three of us, and we're the new Bin Podcast. No, it's July. People vacation. People are busy. Things are going on behind the scenes that we're not really ready to tell you everything about. So things are in motion. So don't worry about it. Your old buddy, your old pal, your best friend in the whole wide world is going to bring you the show today. Speaking of, that means I'm in control of what we're going to talk about. Finally, having to fucking do their articles for years now. And finally, I get some say in what happens. Finally. But if you guys are millennials like myself, if you're looking for perhaps some new work, and you're willing to travel, that is a big part of it. You could always go to China. Facing job scarcity in China, some find work as full-time children. Young people shut out of the labor market or burned out from overwork are being hired by their parents to do housework and be on hand whenever needed. Now, I see that as a service, right? Like at some point, the parents are going to need some background help. You know what I mean? They're going to need some auxiliary help, dishes. They've earned the right in their old age to some leisure, right? They shouldn't have to empty the dishwasher now that they're on emptying the dishwasher time number 1,755. They should be able to let somebody else do that. They should be able to hire out. I should be able to get a maid if I like. Oh God, I don't know how loud this is going to be. Here we go. Okay, it's not too bad. If I don't want to do my household chores, I should be able to I reserve the right to be able to hire somebody to take care of my household chores. Why can't that person be my child? I was going to get a maid anyway. And this person, I don't have to worry about them stealing the money, I guess, or robbing the house. They live there. Okay. Hong Kong. Oh, Hong Kong's not quite mainland China. Not yet. Fight on, Hong Kong. 6 months ago, Jia Zhang was still running her own small business in the eastern Chinese province of... Oh, God. Oh, I should have picked a better article. I have an app for this. I can learn how to pronounce things. Let's see if I... Do I still have it? I don't know how to type that. I guess I could just... All right, that's not going to work. Oh, wait. Huh. Maybe it will work. Oh, God. Why are there so many vowels? Okay, say it. What? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have said that. How do I stop this thing? How do I stop this crazy thing? Make it stop. This was a mistake. Mistakes were made. But Sheshang. But it was hit hard by the pandemic, generating meager profits compared with her efforts. After thorough consideration, I'm out, said Zhang, a mother of two who was struggling to balance work with caring for her parents and children. Yeah, that's right, baby. Now she has a new job, working for her parents full-time, just being their daughter. In exchange, they pay her 8,000 yuan, $1,100. And she bringing grandbabies? Oh, she's in there. Oh, she's in there. She's found her niche. She landed. She landed right where she needed to be. My job is to spend time with my parents. For example, taking them to the grocery stores, do some household chores, as I said. Also, if my parents want to go out, I can make plans. I would make plans in advance, taking them to various stores. See? Youth unemployment has become a serious challenge for China, the world's second largest economy, especially after 3 years of zero COVID restrictions weighed heavily. Zero COVID restrictions weighed heavily on growth. The jobless rate among people ages 16 to 24 was a record 21.3% in June. The National Bureau just wow. So there you go. If you can't really find your niche, just get adopted by a Chinese family, I guess. I guess that would be best. What you doing, little one? We are trying to discourage thumb sucking or finger sucking or anything like that. Because that's a harder habit to break than the binky. The binky I can take away. I can't take your fingers away. Or can't I just tape oven mitts around her hand? I said no thumb sucking. So let's see here. What's the common theme for today? I would say something about Mitch McConnell and his glitch in the Matrix, but I said it on Twitter at Mikey Famine, right schmeow. Go check it out. I'm not going to let my empathy be hijacked when bad things happen to bad people. And despite what everyone wants to convince me of, Mitch McConnell is a bad person. He has zero redeeming qualities. He enjoys the suffering of other people. He's clearly not well. He should have clearly been removed from his first fall, which was in 2019. And he's had 2 since. I mean, how many more signs? Like, he's literally a doorstop. He's just holding the door open for more and more ridiculous shit to pour into the country from a certain wing of the government. And I'm supposed to, and now my empathy is supposed to make me feel like, oh, I just really hope he gets to 100% health and really tip-top shape. No. He's sick.
We do not care.
He might be on his way out.
We do not care.
Holler. If he was just some little old man who whittled wooden rocking horses for dollhouses or some shit, yeah, I would hope that man gets 100% better. I'm not hoping this guy gets better. He's on his own. You attack the LGBTQ plus community. You attacked every civil rights thing you could find. What the hell? I mean, Kentucky is not thriving due to him. He's been a lecherous alligator snapping turtle in DC for almost 50 years. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, here we go. We got one from Midas Touch here. Shout out to the Midas Touch boys. They have popped.
So my amendment gives the committee the opportunity to begin each of its meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to offer an amendment to the amendment, adding in the second paragraph, provided, however, the pledge shall not be led by an individual who supported an insurrection against the government of the United States in any way.
You say you don't get to ask for that. That's not a question that you get to ask. You don't get to ask for that. You motherfucker. You don't get to ask for that. Everyone else can ask for that. Not you. You out of here. All right, let's see if this thing is done yet. Because some of these things have ads, you know. You know how that goes. Just put it on YouTube like a sane adult. All right, we're checking from DC.
As you all know, the White House complex can be unique and very stressful. And that is something I'm sure you all can understand. And it is, as I just said, it is unique and it is stressful for all of us. So you can imagine what it's like for a family pet and family pets more broadly. And so, look, the first family is working through ways.
Did I click on the wrong video? What the hell is going on right now?
To make this situation better for everyone. I think there was a statement that came out of the First Lady's office from my colleague over there, Elizabeth Alexander. So I'll just kind of lay out a little bit of what she put out in her statement. So they have been partnering with the Secret Service and executive resident staff on additional leashing protocols and training, as well as establishing designated areas for Commander to run and exercise.
What the dog do?
According to the Secret Service, each incident referenced was treated similarly to comparable. I
don't know what this is. Yeah, I'm talking about the crisis at the border. I don't know what the hell. How is this video up here? Let me refresh. Let's refresh and see what happens. There we go. Oh, you know what it did? I bet it went to the next one because I preloaded it. Well, that's great. Because then when you're, you know, live on the internet, waiting to comment, and then all of a sudden she's talking about the goddamn first dog Commander. What kind of dog is Commander? Let's see. What kind of dog is Commander? It's a German Shepherd. Yeah, it's so boring. There we go. Skip that shoot. All right, let's see. This is Brenda's story. It says here, the Justice Department is suing Texas Governor Greg Abbott. The governor put floating barriers in the Rio Grande River. What? And razor wire at the borders to stop illegal migrant crossings.
What you see the governor doing is dangerous and unlawful, and it's actually hurting the process. It's hurting the process of what we're trying to do. And instead of wanting to, or undermining, I should say, instead of coming to the table and trying to figure out a way to work together, he continues to do this really cruel, unjust, inhumane ways of moving forward with a system that has been broken for decades.
Oh, shit, I'm supposed to be reading that. My bad. Abbott responded to the suit in a 6-page letter. He asserted Texas's sovereign interest in protecting her borders by deploying the barriers. Texas will see you in court, Mr. President, he concluded. So y'all just vote for anybody. Justice Department says the barriers are inhumane and could cause injury or drownings. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is they're not people to them, right? Migrants are not people. Even though they'll say, my grandfather did it the right way at Ellis Island. Yeah, okay. He went in there and they wrote his name down on a book and they said, see you later, good luck. It's not the case now. That's not the case now, and you know that. You know it's harder now than it's ever been. And they're trying to make it more and more difficult intentionally so that these people can't seek asylum. Because this, for the same reason that they won't go to Mexico City. They won't go to Tijuana. They don't go to Chihuahua. They don't go to these places. Hold on, baby. Hold on, little baby. Oh, boy. Okay. Like Ted Cruz will go to Cancun, but he won't visit the rest. He won't visit rural Mexico to see how the cartel is affecting them, since they're your fucking neighbor, right? So at some point, if I see that my neighbor gets a Rottweiler puppy and they're real tiny, and light, and they get this puppy, and I'm like, I don't know. That dog's going to get pretty big. It's going to get out of control. You got to make sure you train it early as a pup. And they say, yeah, I know. And they kind of don't do it. Well, that puppy is now 120 pounds and does what it wants to do. My reaction to my neighbor losing control of this dog is not to make a thicker fence between my house and their house. That's not a solution. Imposing sanctions on them, calling the police to upset the dog even further, that doesn't help them. Or every time I see the dog do something bad, I blast an air horn to train it myself. That's not how that works. Mexico is our neighbor, and she needs help, and we should be helping her, and we're not. Because everything that touches the border is run by Republicans, and they refuse to do anything except for bother them. But this is greatest country ever. Don't you forget it. Let's see here. Just scrolling through. All right, let's go. Got one from Rachel Meadow. Not a total fan, but I like when she covers stuff that isn't always covered. So I want to talk about this.
So it was just a week ago, we covered Tennessee's Republican Attorney General seizing the private medical records of trans people in that state. Well, here's the lead in a breaking news story in the Tennessean newspaper tonight. Tennessee's Attorney General wants the state to be able to investigate and compel information on out-of-state abortions.
Off rip, that is the most ridiculous fucking thing I have ever heard in my life. Like, what? On what planet do you think that you are that you have privilege to view someone's medical records? You're the Attorney General. What the fuck do you need with medical records? You gonna prescribe something? You gonna offer up some creams, pills? You're not a fucking doctor. What the hell do you need with people's medical records?
These are your private medical records. They are taking them already from...
And these are people who love the Constitution. Just fuck the Fourth Amendment. Just whatever. It's fine. As long as you're going after people I don't like. I don't need my Fourth Amendment. You can keep it.
From trans people in Tennessee. Now they want to take them from any Tennessee woman who has had an abortion in another state.
Which is none of your business, Tennessee Attorney General.
In another state? Yeah. If you live in Tennessee and you need to get an abortion, well, Republicans have instituted an abortion ban in Tennessee. So you can't get one in Tennessee anymore. You will need to travel out of state. But Tennessee's Republican Attorney General now says he intends to effectively follow you out of state to get your medical records to see if you got an abortion somewhere else.
How the hell... And you know, it's stuff like this that should be landslide, like crushing for the right. Like this should be the end. We shouldn't have any more arguments in politics. This is so intrusive. This is so intrusive. This is the same people who refuse to uphold stuff like, I don't know, red flag laws. Maybe somebody with 16 DVs, Orwellian for sure. If someone has 16 DV cases, and then here comes the right wing defending his right to own a firearm. No, sometimes you need to get your rights revoked because you're not acting right. Maybe there's a reason you're not acting right. You got something going on mental health wise. You're stressed because of work or family or both or chemical imbalance. There could be a million reasons why you're not being your true self. But in the meantime, the rest of us don't have to be in fucking fear for our lives. Because you're unhinged. You're seeing red. And we're all just supposed to just, I don't know, duck, I guess. Get lucky, I guess. I guess it's our responsibility to dodge people's fucking rabid moods. No, but red flag laws, that's unconstitutional. You can't impede someone's Second Amendment. But impeding their Fourth Amendment, no fucking problem. Go for it, dude. Just fucking go for it.
Even in a state.
What if it was men? If you go out of state to go get Viagra, if you buy condoms out of state, we're going to subpoena your fucking bank records. And if we find that you spent money on Trojan, Lifestyles, Magnum, it doesn't matter. If you spent any money on condoms while outside of this state, and because we banned condoms in the state. Like if they're serious about what they're serious about, they need to ban condoms. That's the root cause. Just ban condoms, ban everything. If you fucking get in a relationship, you're going to jail. If you fucking double tap on one picture on Instagram, prison, motherfucker. You're going away. We're sick of the bullshit. Like, what do they want people to do? Just not exist with each other at all. Like, I don't know. I don't know. How unhappy are you trying to make people? Because certainly at this point, your life should have been like you've stomped out enough of everyone else's rights for a lifetime that you should be satisfied by now. Surely you're full by now. Pig needs to eat.
Where it's legal. That's the Tennessean tonight. And oh, look, it's also in Kentucky. Tonight in the Louisville Courier-Journal, the Kentucky Attorney General wants Kentucky...
Oh, geez. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Mommy got home, so dog went crazy, had to hand off baby, all that good stuff. Totally lost where I was at, but we'll start back. Now we'll remember.
Tonight in the Louisville Courier-Journal, the Kentucky Attorney General wants Kentuckians' out-of-state abortion records to be available to authorities. Oh, it's not just Tennessee, it's also Kentucky. Oh, and look, here it is in Arkansas, too, today in the Arkansas Times. Arkansas Attorney General wants to know about your out-of-state abortion. It's happening with the Republican Attorney General in Arkansas, too.
Now, this is the same party of small government, right? They don't want any intrusive government hands in their life. They don't want shit shoved down their throats from Democrats. Where are Democrats doing this? Where? How, Sway?
Oh, and look, here tonight. Here it is in Georgia. Georgia Attorney General. And here it is in Mississippi. Mississippi's Attorney General. This is from Mississippi Today, a nonprofit news organization which was actually first to break this story with this headline: Mississippi's Attorney General wants to make info on out-of-state abortions available to Mississippi authorities. Mississippi has banned abortion. There is no abortion clinic left in Mississippi. So if you live in Mississippi and you need to get an abortion, you will need to figure out how to get yourself out of Mississippi and into a state where you can legally get one. But the Republicans in state government in Mississippi say they will effectively follow you out of the state. By virtue of the fact that you are a Mississippi resident, sorry, they...
Like, how do they know if you move? Like, if I leave one state, if I change residence and move to another state, that first state can't come back and try to prosecute me. I left your state. I left the residence of your state. I don't live here anymore.
They now claim the right to seize your medical records from a clinic in New York or in Illinois or wherever else you go. They claim the right to follow you there and take your private medical records from there for their own law enforcement purposes.
Now, see, this sounds like they tried to get warrants for people's medical records out of state. That is buck wild. Because if I'm running a clinic up here in Chicagoland and Texas AG calls me on the phone, it's like, I need the medical records for Jane Doe. Pound sand, brother. You're not getting shit. I'm not telling you anything. So now it looks like they took it to court to try to force people to try to compel clinics and shit like that to turn over. That's HIPAA information. You're not privileged to have that.
And I just showed you headlines from Mississippi, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Georgia, but it is actually 19 different states where Republican officials are going for this now.
Are we great yet?
19 Republican attorney generals in 19 states have signed on to a letter to the Biden administration saying they want the right to go after women's private.
So we got Mississippi, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. Where's Tim at? I need Tim. How is the Attorney General selected? Is that an elected title? Or are they selected by somebody? Because I think some people need new careers. I can see 19 people who are clearly in the wrong profession.
Private medical records anywhere in the country, including all the states where abortion is legal. They want to follow their residents all over the country to see if that woman might be getting an abortion or some other kind of reproductive care anywhere. They want the records, and they claim the right to go get them. Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana,
I just did this.
Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas to the Biden private medical records. Fertility treatment or any kind of reproductive.
I think Arizona's left off that list. Arizona's gotten so much bad press. This is good for Arizona. Well, yeah, I mean, Arizona, if you guys could just have, like, you know, less than a dozen elections per election. Or less than a dozen counts of the same fucking votes. Like, Arizona is known for wasting money at this point for fucking unnecessary recounts.
Care, potentially contraception. And yes, also.
And birth control is a medicine. Like, it works to help prevent pregnancies, but there's other uses for birth control. It's still a pharmaceutical. It can be used to control hormones. Women with particularly bad menstruation can have really, like, severe, like my an associate had severe period pain. Severe. She had been on birth control since she was a teenager. Far before she was sexually active, because it was so bad. It was so bad. So it's not just for people who are harlots of the night. There's medical uses for fucking birth control.
Gender affirming care of any kind. They claim the right to go take your private medical records.
And then what are they going to do with that? Try to prosecute? So they're going to so first of all, they're going to try to muscle their way into getting your medical records. And then they're going to try to charge you. And then they're going to have to extradite you if you've left the state to bring you back so that they can try you in their fucking what's it called? The Handmaid's Tale courtroom.
To see what you're up to with that kind of care, no matter where you have gone to get it.
But this is the party of freedoms and small government.
How can you get away from something like this? I mean, if this is what they say they want to do, and it is, how do you get away from it? The reason they've written to the Biden administration saying they claim this right is because the Biden administration says they should not have the right to do this. The Biden administration is trying to assert federally that attorneys general from states where abortion is banned can't follow their residents to other states to see if they're getting banned care from someplace where it's legal.
I mean, if I drive across the border, like, say, weed wasn't, let's say it's 2019 and weed is not legal in Illinois. I'm trying to think of where it is, but I take a trip to Colorado and I go to a few dispensaries. I go to some friend's house and they smoke me up. And then I hop on a flight the next day and I fucking fly home. So if they had their way, the attorneys general could come after me for smoking weed in another place. Actually, you know what? I wish Jartan was here. Jartan can speak on this because I think it was Sweden or Norway where they I think it was Snoop, right? I think it was Snoop Dogg got arrested for having drugs in his system. But that's another country. That country doesn't have our constitution. That country doesn't have our Bill of Rights and our federal, state and federal laws. But I thought that was funny. He got arrested just for being high. It was Steve-O? Oh, maybe it was Steve-O. That's funny.
Beyond those efforts to protect this at the federal level from the Biden administration, you've also started to see blue states.
Yeah, maybe it was Steve-O. Now I'm starting to remember it. I'm starting to hear the voice now.
Places like New York.
It might have happened to Snoop too. It's happened to a bunch of, like, American celebrities where they go over there and they're just like, what do you mean I'm in jail?
In Washington state that have also passed state laws saying that nobody should be able to get private medical records like this. Just because you've banned abortion in your state doesn't mean you can effectively enforce it in mine. But here's 19 Republican states. 19 Republican state attorney generals saying they're going for it. And maybe they already are. When reporter Joe Sonka from the Louisville Courier-Journal today.
Come on, Lou, tell us what they got to say. It say Joe. She said Lou. It say Joe right there. Let me see.
Maybe they already are. When reporter Joe Sonka from the Louisville.
Oh my God, I heard it wrong.
Courier-Journal today asked the Kentucky Attorney General's office if they have already pursued private medical records from Kentucky women who've had medical treatment in other states. The Attorney General's office didn't give Joe Sonka an answer. He says he has still not heard back from the Attorney General's office about this.
Are you trying to justify something that you've already been doing?
Which leaves open the possibility that maybe they are already doing this. Maybe they are already trying or getting.
Yeah, because that makes a lot more sense, actually, for them to try to pass something so stupid and so obviously not gonna work is if I can make it legal before I get caught, then I didn't do anything wrong.
These medical records. They used to say that the Republican Party was the party of limited government.
I just said that.
This is a lot of things, but this is not that.
I should have a show.
Joining us now is Minnie Timaraju. She's president.
No, I'm not interested. Not interested. Not interested. Well, there you go. I mean, this is small government. This is what small government looks like. Get used to it. It's getting smaller every day. And I kind of really feel for people in southern states because you can't just pick up and go. You know? It's not a just getting a U-Haul and then buy a new house in a new state. Like, motherfuckers don't have $1,000 sitting in their bank account. How do they have enough to hold them while they transport from one state? I mean, it's all part of the plan. Can't leave if you can't afford to leave. More than one way to skin a cat. I'll trap you in here one way or another. Oh, speaking of skinning cats, oh God, we got a cringe alert. Cringe alert.
Representative Jones, I want to ask you the question is, I understand that you went into public school and you went to Harvard and Harvard Law. And the question, I guess, is, would you have been able to maybe achieve this if you were not an athlete?
If you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
Or a minority?
If you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
You don't want zero problems, big fella.
Say, oh, you think you about that? You think it's a game?
Oh my God.
I'm hoping I wasn't.
Oh, hey, Tim. I have a question for you, Tim. Thank you, Tim, for showing up in the chat. Check out Speaking from the Center on Wednesdays on the Ben Podcast Network at 8 p.m. Central. I don't care what time it is Eastern time, but thank you for being here, Tim. Tim, how are attorneys generals selected? Are they elected or are they nominated? How does that selection process work? Thank you for being here. I was just thinking I have a question for Tim and he's not here. Mostly elected. Installed. They're bolted in. Some are by appointment. Oh, so it's a state by state thing. That's irritating. I don't like that so much stuff is state by state. I agree that everyone's decisions should be made state by state, but I think the structure of each one should be pretty much the same unless you're like North Dakota or something like that, like where you don't have but 14 people. And then if you want to do something smaller, you can. But I think everybody with over 10 million people in your state, you need to have fucking a state house, a state senate. All of your shit needs to be elected up until, you know what I mean? I think there should be some sort of consistency across the board, or else you get gray areas.
The only one that got shocked by that comment that the only reason you went to Harvard is because you were black and an athlete?
I did not say that. I said,
yes, you did.
Did that end up being one of the reasons?
He said, let me clean this up for you.
I do not know that. I asked him this.
Boy.
You don't want zero problems, big fella.
Let him know, State Rep Abe Jones.
I'm just going to say one thing. Harvard had 5 rankings for their students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I graduated from Harvard, I was in rank 2. So I earned my place, and I did well. Now.
How? I got to hear it again. Start it
Representative
again.
Jones, I want to ask you the question is, I understand that you went into public school.
First of all, what the fuck is on? What are you wearing right now? First, I'm going to roast this outfit. This Temu ass outfit, boy. Them motherfucking bottle cap buttons, boy. That motherfucking gold Rolex watch from a fucking claw machine, boy. That dirty ass ring, boy. Your dirty fingernails, boy. Your nasty haircut, boy. Your earwax, boy. Your ear hair, boy. You better go ahead. Get the fuck out of my face with this bullshit. You know what you were saying.
School, and you went to Harvard and Harvard Law. And the question, I guess, is, would you have been able to maybe achieve this if you were not an athlete or a minority?
I'm hoping I wasn't the only one that got shocked by that comment that the only reason you went to Harvard is because you were black and an athlete.
I did not say that. I said, did that end up being one of the reasons? I do not know that.
Yeah, bro. You ain't nobody else confused. You the only one confused. We know exactly what you said. We heard exactly what you said. To the shock of no one. Oh, what's this? Oh, and speaking of pieces of garbage, your boy DeSantis is imploding. Like, bro, the only thing more American than apple pie and baseball is fucking Mickey Mouse. Way to pick your battles, dumbass. No one fucks with it. Streamers don't fuck with the mouse. You don't see people fucking run around fucking playing Disney movies on their shit, do you? They'll play every other movie. How many Disney movies you seen on YouTube? Exactly. Even us low-grade thugs understand that the mouse is not to be touched. But he likes trouble, so let's give it.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis appears to be trying to distance himself from the recent changes that have been made to his state's
to suck ass.
public school curriculum. Now, last week, the Florida Board of Education approved...
Boy, that's the worst photoshopped bullshit I've ever seen.
...new guidelines for teaching Black history, which suggests that enslaved people reaped benefits from skills acquired during centuries of forced labor.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out.
You can't park this, huh?
Get out. I'm saying, get out. What the fuck?
From skills acquired during centuries of forced labor, reaped benefits. The move comes just months after DeSantis criticized an advanced placement course on African American studies.
That's like, oh well, I gave him
significant back.
It's like, oh, I gave them all fucking degrees in whips, so they all have a bachelor's in whips. Like, what the fuck? The fuck is wrong with this dude?
Clash. Vice President Kamala Harris visited Jacksonville on Friday and slammed the new curriculum, calling it extremist propaganda. This prompted DeSantis to defend his state while also denying any personal responsibility for the new education standards.
Of course, it didn't go over well, so he's trying to hide. Oh, there you go.
If you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
There you go, Tim.
Take a listen.
Well, you should talk to them about it. I mean, I didn't do it, and I wasn't involved in it. But I think what they're doing is I think that they're probably going to show.
Yo, what's up with his pupils, B?
Some of the folks that eventually parlayed,
No, that's a good screenshot. God damn it, I've done it again.
being a blacksmith into doing things later in life. But the reality is all of that is...
Who is this chick over here grinning? I see you over there. Don't you be grinning, because I'm going to be on your ass next.
I think what they're doing is I think that they're probably going to show some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life. But the reality is all of that is rooted in whatever is factual. They listed everything out. And if you have any questions about it, just ask the Department of Education. You can talk about.
You got a lot of fucking nerve.
Those folks, but I mean, these were scholars who put that together. It was not anything that was done politically.
All right, brother. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for you. Well, I don't know what they wrote. I don't know. Oh, you don't know nothing now, huh? Your name's Muffin. You don't know nothing?
Sure. Some Republicans.
He's not buying it either.
Not anything that was done politically.
Sure. Some Republican presidential candidates are also speaking out against the Florida Board of Education's new guidelines.
Ooh, let me guess. South Carolina is going to say something.
Former Congressman Will Hurd wrote on Twitter this: unfortunately, it has to be said. Slavery wasn't a jobs program that taught beneficial skills. It was literally dehumanizing and subjugated people as property because they lacked any rights or freedoms.
So what is the what is his, I don't understand the goal, right? Like, what's the mission statement of you coming out and saying, well, they learned how to do stuff afterward? Like, really? Like, I don't understand how that makes sense. Like, well, how did you put those two things in the same sentence and then ran it through a couple of filters in your brain and then said it so other humans could hear you with their human ears out of your human mouth? Like, there's a lot of checks and balances that should have stopped you from saying and implementing stupid shit like this. This is clearly stupid.
Here's what Chris Christie had to say, too.
Oh, you know Chrissy. Chrissy had to jump on that.
I didn't do it, and I'm not involved in it.
Oh, he's going to stomp his ass for this. He's like, I'm not going to be the fat boy that fucking Trump can poke fun at. I'm about to body slam this bitch first.
Are not the words of leadership. Look, Governor DeSantis started this fire with the bill that he signed, and now he doesn't want to take responsibility for whatever is done in the aftermath of it.
So pretty much you didn't read it before you signed it. Is that what we're supposed to take, Governor? You just sign anything that comes on your desk? So either you didn't know what it was and you just signed it without knowing what it was, or you knew what it was and you're a piece of garbage. So those are your options. Where would you like to fall?
And from listening and watching his comments, he's obviously uncomfortable. He only started to focus on this when he decided he wanted to run for president and try to get to the right of
No, he's got no shot. No shot at all.
Donald Trump. And so I think people see this as politically manipulated.
He's still trying to crawl out of the shadows after he got banished for what was it? Shutting down a bridge so that he could, or shutting down a beach so him and his family could be on vacation. Yeah, during COVID, like people ain't forgot about that.
And I'm talking about, Margaret, we're dividing our country into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. Yeah. And politicians are pitting them against each other to create conflict.
When they should just be abusing their power to get what they individually want. Like me.
And that's not going to make the country bigger, better, stronger, or freer.
So, Eugene, let's just start with how inaccurate and offensive some of this teaching is from the Florida.
This guy's got a nice little coif de hair. Got a nice little beard. Beard's good. I like the beard. It's a little indecisive for me. I feel like he could have went George Michael with it, but he let it go too long. You know?
New curriculum there.
Sweater's okay. Blazer sucks. I don't know about the brooch. Maybe it means something. Yeah, the fro's good. That fro is moist. That's a good fro. He put the Kushner's father in jail. Who did? Oh, Chris Christie. Trump is going to win again, and it will be war. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, that's why Christie was banished. Went after the old cushies.
But also how Governor DeSantis and his anti-war policies have put him in a box with speaking to a...
Look at this set. Look at all these pillars and these screens and all this shit. That's a lot going on here.
Seemingly smaller and smaller portion of the electorate.
This is what happens when you base your entire kind of political career on this. When you say that everybody needs to be anti-woke, this is where you end up. And when you talk to folks...
Yeah, this is like the what do they call it? The metaphorical end to their shit. Is where they start running out of groups to stop oppressing. Like they can't find anyone else to clamp down on. And I mean, I don't know what their next individual like projected problem is going to be, because you typically whenever the Republicans go for something gung ho, it's because they're reasonless bastards and they're doing it themselves. That's typically what I found, is when they are bitching about something, it's because they're doing it. And they only bitch about the things that we can obviously catch them up on doing the same thing. So all of this like changing of the history book shit, it's very expressive in the mindset of what's going on in the Southern leadership, at least in the governor's roles, and at least in some of these state houses. It's very telling, the shit that you guys do talk about and don't talk about. Like on this show, we stopped pretty much talking about like police killings and shootings and large swaths of deaths and unnecessary deaths and stuff like that. And there's a reason for it. It was hurting us. It was like we can't sit here. Shit, I don't even know how long this show's been going now. We've been going since 2017? 18? 17 or 18? Yeah, that sounds about right. And we've covered, I mean, we're at 300 something, 400 something episodes. That's a lot of death. And that's a lot of death for 4 to 7 friends. That's a lot for us to have to bear, right? Like, we also have family tragedies. You know, I mean, stuff. We have our own stuff going on. And then to put on every single one of the country's tragedies every time, it takes a toll. So, as a Supreme Commander, I decided we need to do stuff that's important, but also stuff that isn't detrimental to our mental health on a week-by-week basis. So that means some stuff doesn't get covered. And that's why we don't cover it. Like, some stuff is too sad. And if you have to find that stuff out, we hope you find it out the same way we did. And we don't really want to be the bearers of bad news for every single bad thing on the globe for the last week. Yeah. I mean, between the mass shootings, I mean, the floods in India, things kicked off in Rwanda again. It's like, there's some real horrors out there. So all of this is first world privileged banter and bitching, right? But since we in this world, in this first world, in this country, using these rules in this constitution, this is some ho shit. Because as much as we keep holding up the Constitution as this fucking tablet that Moses came down from the fucking mountain with, it didn't even fucking include women or black people. It banned liquor federally and then repealed liquor. The ban on liquor. So, I mean, for them to praise and worship this document and at the same time must have never read it. It would be funny if it weren't so sad.
In Florida, the whole point of the bill that came through, this is in reaction to a bill that he wanted. It was making clear what he wanted to folks. And it's because he felt, and a lot of people around this country are starting to feel, that we can't teach the correct history of this country because it makes white kids uncomfortable. That is at the base of this, right? That it is uncomfortable to hear that people that look like you.
But I grew up with white kids. Us black kids, statistically, grew up around a lot of white kids. The slavery topic came up in history class. The white kids weren't looking at each other like, man, I can't believe I did that. Like, they're not stupid. It's a history class. But growing up in areas where everything is so mixed together, you don't have these kind of issues. It wouldn't even occur to the parents in rational states. I'll say that. In states north of the Mason-Dixon, it doesn't make sense to soften the blow. It's supposed to be harsh. Like, if it's harsh for the white kid who has to learn about slavery, imagine learning that your last name is likely due to the slave owner at the time of the emancipation of the slaves. So these descendant of slave black people, myself included, we don't have African last names. We don't have African first names. We're given Christian names and the names of the slave owner. Cool, but I'm supposed to feel bad about your fucking kid because he has to learn that it happened. I have to live it, but that's okay. They have to learn it. That's not okay.
Put people that look like me in chains and made them do things and beat them and rape them. That is uncomfortable for kids to hear. That is what these folks are saying. But then when you use that as a political cudgel, you have to own it, right? At this point, this is on Ron DeSantis. He may not have created these policies with the school board, but at the end of the day, he made it very clear to what he wanted to the folks in that state.
Yeah, no, completely agree. I think you have to put it in the context that there's been an effort to sort of desensitize American history, specifically American colonial history, and this was done in that context. The actual curriculum, if you read it, it's just one line, right? It's just one line. It does use the word benefit, and that obviously is problematic. And what's striking to me,
yeah, it's false. That's why it's problematic. It's not true.
Beyond just that it got to this point to begin with, which is crazy, is that there's not someone in that orbit, in his universe, who has the maturity and the capacity to say, this wording is problematic, maybe we can go back and revise it. We recognize that we've sort of lit a fire, let's try to revamp it. Because that would be sort of a rational human thing to do.
Yeah, the rational thing would be to walk it back. Walk it back, change the wording, and move forward. If that's what you actually thought. If you thought that entire curriculum, if you thought that entire curriculum was worth having, then changing that one line wouldn't be a bother. But you are fighting for that one line because it justifies.
It's like, look, we didn't mean to offend anyone. Let us, scrub it and replace it with something else. But in a political context, you can never admit that you've made a misstep. And more importantly, I think for DeSantis, he doesn't want to back down from something that goes with his brand, which is we are going to push back against all these efforts to promote diversity and inclusion, and we want to sanitize our history.
And I mean, it has real impact on the state, his anti-woke agenda, because Florida has a teacher shortage now, right? It has become harder.
Yeah, keep it up. You're going to have a people's shortage.
For people in the state to want to teach.
Yeah, and this we'll get into a little later in the show some of the fundraising issues that DeSantis is having right now and staff.
All the Republicans are having fundraising issues.
Firings he's had to conduct. But Jackie, this just seems like it's another political fight that he's...
I'm Idris Elba. I goes where I goes.
Big Drist Cumberbatch in the chat.
Picked and now losing.
I mean, even just looking at his body language during that statement, it was like bobblehead dissent.
Okay, let me hear. This is not fair, but I don't care. If you are going to speak in front of people, notice I have several varying liquids on my desk at all times. You have to get rid of the mouth smacks. Your mouth has to be moist if you're going to be speaking in a little bit louder than a whisper for hours at a time. You have to have water. She's got tech mouth. Everybody learn this lesson.
DeSantis was back. But it does, I think Sam is absolutely right. It speaks to an issue that people have long criticized DeSantis for, especially some of the people on the Trump side of things who previously worked for DeSantis in Florida, which is he can't keep staff because he doesn't take advice from anyone.
Well, why would you fucking stay if you fucking get hired by this guy? I mean, I'm your advisor, but you refuse to listen to me. I'm out of here. Fucking going back to do something else. I'm not gonna fucking sit around and let you just fucking waste my fucking time. Fuck out of here.
He doesn't have any senior people around him to help him navigate this, and he is speaking to an increasingly small slice of the base, not even the electorate. And as you just noted, we're right out of the gate here, and he is blowing through money. He had a fairly decent haul. He's blown all of it on on staffing so far, is already laying people off. It sort of feels like Rick Perry, 2016, had some, or Scott Walker as well. I guess a handful of them for that.
This is what happens.
You talked about his body language showing how uncomfortable.
I don't care about all that shit. How much time I got left? All right, I got a little bit of time left. See if I can find this last thing. If you are watching on the replay on YouTube, this is your time to go to patreon.com/thevin podcast. I should put a graphic right here. Go there and check that stuff out. I have an eyelash in my eye and it's killing me. And I can't get it. I'd have to go. I need a mirror. But we're going to go on. Life goes on. The show must go on. Oh, God, it made it worse. Oh, yeah, I definitely made it worse. All right, we're doing this shit cyclopean. All right, there we go. Gotta do it. Let me see if I can find this one little thing. I just want to find a little thing. Just a little taste. Because I got a banger to go out on here. Oh, and if you guys are wondering, I found the voice of the man behind the hottest song, Sweeping the Summer. Let me grab it for you. This song's good too, but it's not this. Frick. I don't know where I put it. I do this every time. I know where it is. I know where it is. I'm just acting like I don't know where it is. But I do. Is what I tell myself. But then immediately after, I can't find it. Ooh, this might be it. We might be in luck. And Tim, if you're still here. This is especially important for you. Oh, there it is. This song here. The song you're listening to right now. The MTG song, MTG versus NYC. I've identified the voice. It was who I thought it was, and not just a guy who sounded like him. And then it goes on for a while, and then we got this. Oh, where's the MTG parts? There we go.
I think it's a really major mistake. Major mistake and an insult to me. I think it's really major.
It's great. Check out the Speaking from the Center intro to hear the full song. I should probably put it up on my SoundCloud. That would make sense. God, there's something in my eye. All right, whatever. Who needs eyes to talk? Me. But I've identified the person who is the voice of that. It was just a random like TikTok or something, and then it's like on Twitter, so it's like a person's video, and it just didn't have a name. And when I can't find the name of something, I kind of lose my mind. A wee bit. I get obsessive and I have to know. Like, I have to know what's going on. And it's fucking Michael Rappaport. It's exactly who I thought it was. The guy who is the greatest fucking LeBron James shit talker of all time. The #1 Michael Jordan stan other than Skip Bayless. It is him. So I'm going to finish that song, actually make it sound like all the way good, and then I will post it onto the SoundCloud, and I'm going to send it over to Michael Rappaport. I'm going to see if he wants to come on to an episode. Like, look, dude, I made you a song, goddammit. Give me half an hour. And who knows? It might work. It might work. We'll never know. We'll never know. Unless we try. I'm stalling for an obvious reason. I don't want to talk about the last thing. Oh, a couple of small things. LeBron James Jr., I hear, is doing better. He collapsed on the court, and I forget who it was, but someone was throwing around the baseless accusation that it was due to his vaccine, and that's why it dropped. It was just grimy shit. The James family has probably been the most exemplary basketball family that there has ever been. I mean, he's been in the league fucking 19 years, 20 years. Not a single scandal. No mistresses, no drugs, no doping, no fights. The worst thing he did was fucking go to another team. He's been now he is the NBA fucking lifetime points leader, past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's working on his assist to pass Stockton. Like, it's on as a total package. LeBron James is the GOAT. On the court, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. But the most pristine family ever. And the kid has a medical emergency, and then immediately everyone starts speculating. Mitch McConnell fucking glitches out. I make jokes and I'm a bad person. Okay. There's two justice systems out there. Oh, where is it? I'm still looking for this. Oh, they got more footage on this thing.
Department has given Abbott until 2 p.m. today to begin removing the floating barriers and related structures. Humanitarian workers and local news outlets report numerous migrants, including children, have suffered from lacerations after being cut by the razor wire. Oftentimes, they couldn't see it was underwater. A whistleblower state trooper.
They put razor wire in the fucking river.
At the Texas Department of Public Safety recently decried the state's inhumane policies in a letter to superiors.
And see, here's the thing. All these motherfuckers on that crew, sorry, not good people. You're just not. You're just not. If someone asks me to do that, I'm going to tell them no. They say you're going to lose your job. Well, then I guess I lost my job. Or do you actually have the authority to cost me my pension for asking me to do something like this? That we can take to court. But you're not going to make me install razor wire in the waters that people are trying to cross with children. You can't make me. I'm a fucking communist, liberal, atheist, whatever. But you couldn't pay me to fucking put razor wire in the water where children are going to be. I guess I'm just too woke.
Nicholas Wingate wrote, quote, "The wire and barrels in the river needs to be taken out, as this is nothing but an inhumane trap in high water and low visibility," he wrote. Last week, the U.S. Justice Department sent a letter to Texas stating, quote, "The state of Texas's actions violate federal law, raise humanitarian concerns, present serious risks to public safety and the environment, and may interfere with the federal government's ability to carry out its official duties," unquote.
Saying that what he is doing.
I mean, like, look at this drone footage here. This is kind of what I wanted. So there's a little embankment here where I guess people would come up. And now they put the barriers up. And there's razor wire everywhere. And again, if that's underwater, if you're, I mean, it's not like they're swimming in fucking Acapulco. You know what I mean? This isn't the fucking Gulf. It's river water. It's full of fucking sediment. You can't see that shit. Unreal. Oops.
It's just simply not true. Fentanyl product is coming in from all sorts of ports of entry across this country. No doubt fentanyl is a problem.
Looking at you, Brenna. Looking at you, California, with your fucking largest port ever. Looking at you, brother.
And no doubt immigration to a certain degree is a problem, but those immigrants are not responsible for the major problems that are happening in Texas in education.
Who's swimming over a river with fucking pills that fucking dissolve if they get wet? I'm gonna just put it in a baggie and hope for the best. Leave Skynet founders alone. No.
Education and healthcare, infrastructure, and beyond, and really, quite simply, lack of opportunity. Ted Cruz has done nothing to solve this problem.
Ted Cruz is very busy changing his name from Raphael to Ted.
Nothing to offer an idea how to solve this immigration problem that we're having. Luckily, under President Biden's administration, the last 2 months, as I said, after the re-implementation of Title VIII, we've seen border crossings cut in half.
You are going to run for the U.S. Senate against Ted Cruz. Democratic Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez.
Unreal. All right. So, in summation, now we're at about the point where I wanted to be in the show. So, again, comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the show. Tell me what we can improve on. If you want to leave a love note for my fellow co-hosts, you can leave that in the comments. They'll see it later. Questions for them, they'll see it later. What is the end game? Right? What is the end game for this, like, DeSantis, McConnell, Cruz kind of like this fervor. Like they're trying to whip up people, but they're trying to whip up people for what? Well, at the risk of sounding like an alarmist, what if I told you they're literally making YouTube channels talking about what they're going to do when they have to do what they have to do? I can show you better than I can tell you.
Get rid of all that junk. Just go get a 19X.
Let's do this.
Beloved, these are the tools you're going to want to start gathering to prepare for the coming struggle. A 14.5 16-inch AR-15 carbine with an IR illuminator as well as a good quality flashlight. Mark 18 if you're a Chad. Bofang radio with a decent antenna. A helmet, ballistic or non, something good quality that will receive night vision and get night vision. Beloved, remember predators have night vision. Prey does not. Good electronic hearing protection by quality. Battle belt. Get rid of all that junk. Just go get a 19X, IFAK, dump pouch, 2 magazines, pistol, 1 AR. A knife, sturdy, something you can trust. Thick spine with a good sheath. Body armor, make sure it'll stop up to 5.56 or AK-47. Keep it simple, slick, just a few magazines. Leave pouches open for the things you're gonna need. And no less than 12 magazines and 500 rounds of ammunition. Keep everything in a sturdy, reliable bag. It's grab and go. Act accordingly.
Now let's listen to the beginning one more again.
Beloved, these are the tools you're going to want to start gathering to prepare for the coming struggle.
Now, it might be speculation on my part that these yahoos are up to something. That they've got bad intentions in mind. That they don't have their fellow American safety in mind. Because I can tell you right now, that's not a kit for staying in your house and defending it. Right? Like that's a ruck pack. That's you getting battle ready. Operations are about to take place. Engagements might take place. That's what that is. That's what that kit is for. That's a Call of Duty set. Like that's what you start off with when the match begins. Or what you hope to achieve if you're playing like a battle royale situation. Like that's a kit. What's the upcoming struggle? Russia? China? North Korea? Mexico? Cuba? Who's going to invade? What attackers are you hoping to repel? Who's all that for? Because he didn't say if something goes down, this is good to have in your home to protect yourself. I won't take him out of context. I'll play it again. That's not what he said. It's not what he said.
Beloved, these are the tools you're going to want to start gathering to prepare for the coming struggle.
But I'm paranoid, right? But I'm paranoid. It's from the horse's mouth. They're making YouTube content. They're not ashamed. They're trying to get monetized while they do this. You know what I mean? They're trying to get some fucking sponsors. They're trying to really get out there and get a hold of this new algorithm that's out here, you know, try to get some clicks. Imagine if this was black folk or trans folk or Mexicans. They'd be shutting this shit down, man. They'd be all over this shit shutting it down. They say call the FBI, the CIA, MIB, motherfucking Nick Fury. Call everybody. They'd be shutting that shit down. But where have we seen this before? Oh, when the Black Panthers entered the State House. with AKs pointed at the sky. They said, whoa, 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 whoa. I said Second Amendment, not Second Amendment with blacks. Jesus, I didn't know I had to specify. Well, now everybody got a gun, and they can't stop it. So they said, cool. Follow our instructions and wait for orders. Stand by and stay ready, remember? Stand back and stand by, remember that? We're not done. They didn't get everybody. I'm not saying there's a scroll thing going on. But I'm just saying, I remember seeing a whole bunch of Trump flags all over everything. I was like, oh, this makes it easy to spot them. I think they got wise. Because I don't think all those people just, moved to Texas, moved to Kentucky, moved to Florida. I don't think they all left. I think they all got quiet again. They got quiet like before. So don't take this peaceful time as a peaceful time. They are still MAGA crazy. They are still buck wild. I encourage everybody to do only things that are safe. And I say that without caveat. If you think you have a right to do something, but you hear that there's going to be agitators and this, that, and the third, I want you to exercise your Zero Amendment with your right to be safe. It is deeply dissatisfying that people with good hearts and good intentions choose when to use critical thinking, especially when it comes to areas of free speech. Right? I am not a free speech absolutist. I never have been, never will be. I don't think everything's okay. I don't think everybody has a right to be as mean as possible at all times. I just don't feel that it's right. Do I have a logical justification for it? 100%? I could probably work something out for you. I could probably write up a little thesis for you. But in the moment, I'm feeling like, you know what? No, you shouldn't be able to yell fire in a crowded theater. You shouldn't be able to intimidate or threaten people or coerce people with your words. I feel like all that stuff is not protected. And I feel like it shouldn't be. But free speech absolutists, they don't care about the laws. They just only want to talk about the thought experiment. So, and people wonder why nerds, gays, lesbians, trans, blacks, women, Hispanics, Asians overwhelmingly applied for carry cards. And you wonder why. And you wonder why. I'm going to get out of here. I've been going for fucking 90 minutes. Shout out to me. Shout out to the rest of the Bin family. Wayne, Chartan, Tim, Mark, Brenna, Ashley, Rose, Cortez, all of us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for bearing with me. I know little mama didn't really want to behave today. But her is little. She gets to do whatever she wants. And she's so stinking cute, you can't really stay mad at her. I mean, even if you do get mad at her, it's not like she fucking cares. Like, you can be as mad as you want. It's not her problem. Oh, do I have anything heartwarming to leave you guys on? Let's see. Ooh, here we go. I like this one. This will be cool. So if it's not Skynet, it'll be your cephalopod overlords taking over. And they send you this as greeting. It's Squidward. Oh, come on. If that didn't give you a fucking smile, I don't know what will. Just give it up. Just pack it up and go home. There's no chance, because that's fucking funny. I wonder if the fucking octopus watched the show. I wonder if you watched the show. I was like, you know what? I could dress up like that Squidward guy. No one will ever suspect me. Okay. So I'm going to send you guys away now. It's time for you to go hang out with the Boltorian. Tell him I sent you. So for everybody here at the Bennett family, I'm Mikey Famine. And this has been What's Good. I'm out of here. Where's my mouse at? What's my mouse doing? My mouse is not working. There we go. Fuck. I love you.